Hey and welcome to today's video and welcome to this channel. For everyone new here, my name is George and I'm about to start the biggest adventure I ever made so far, the peaks of Europe. Imagine this, 52 peaks in 52 weeks and a journey spanning across this small but beautiful continent, Europe. It is one of my biggest dreams and challenges. It involves climbing the highest peak in every European country in just 1 year. But wait, there's more. This adventure is not just about conquering mountains, it is also about promoting sustainable travel and immersing myself in a local culture. Instead of taking the easy route by hopping from plane to plane, I've decided to take a slower approach and promote sustainable travel at the same time. So I will be only using public transportation to get around. Not only because I believe this continent should be very well connected, but also to travel at a slower pace and allow myself the opportunity of meeting incredible people and hearing their story. From the snowy peaks of the Alps to the rugged landscapes of the Balkans, every mountain climb is an opportunity to learn about the diverse cultures and traditions of each country. This adventure is not just about reaching new heights, it's about discovering the heart and soul of Europe, and I hope I can take you with me. This is episode 0. I call it episode 0 because the adventure did not start yet. Nevertheless, I think it will be fun for you if I take you with me on the planning phase, on the preparation, and of course also to the training. At the end of this video, you also find out where we actually start the adventure, in which country we go first. Have fun with this video. After having cycled last summer across Europe, I had to spend a few months in Vienna preparing for this project. And it was actually the first time in a few years that I experienced typical continental European winter, and it was really horrible. It was cold, it was wet, and it was really dark. So I decided I'd just escape. I packed my stuff, came here to the paradise, came to Madeira, not only to train, but also to simply enjoy some sun. Things didn't work out quite as planned, so I actually spent way more time on my laptop preparing than actually on the hiking trail training. Nevertheless, I found a really amazing spot to work, and let me show it actually. Let's go to my office. While walking to there, let's speak about the project. My idea is to climb the highest peak of every European country, which is around 55, and it goes from the very easy ones and very small ones, like for example the Netherlands with a few hundred meters, till the very tall ones and very technical ones. For example, Mont Blanc or Dufourspitze in Swiss, both of them are around 5,000. Nevertheless, what I realized is while planning this project is that at least half of the mountains are fairly easy and not very technical. That's why I decided I will spice up the whole project a bit. And I will travel basically between the countries and between the mountains only by public transport. Europe is a very small but very well connected continent, and I think it should be, no actually it must be possible to reach any point on the continent by public transport. Will I be able to do that? I'm really not so sure about it, but we're gonna find it out. On top of that, I also want to promote sustainable tourism, and I want to show that traveling in this way is actually possible. And next to all this, I also want to not only travel across the continent like this slowly and climb the mountains, I also want to interact with the locals, get to know the people who live in the country, get to know their traditions, their way of living, and also their struggles. By traveling this way and by interacting with the locals, I really think we're gonna experience the diversity of Europe and learn a lot about this continent. Here I basically spent most of the time thinking and planning which country to visit first and in which order to make the mountains. This little pier here is what I call my office, and it's a perfect place to work but also relax a bit, enjoy the sun and being close to the ocean. Planning and figuring out where to go first seems actually quite easy, but it is actually incredibly difficult. And before doing that, I also had to make sure that I'm trained enough for the peaks and that I'm fit enough. And I can tell you, Madeira is definitely the best place to be for getting in shape and getting trained. You have endless running trails and not only difficult terrain there, but most importantly also perfect views everywhere where you go. Also after work you can just grab your backpack, put some weight in it, and here in Funchal go up the streets, go up the hills, and you will conquer a lot of elevation. So I didn't have to wait for the weekends to hike, because probably I didn't tell you yet, but I also worked full time next to making this project. So anyways, you have strength training in the gym, we have some running, and here in the city conquering some elevation, and of course the adventures on the weekend. But sadly way too less adventures, not only because of the weather, but mostly because of this. This here drove me absolutely crazy. My idea was to make sticky notes for every mountain, so green the easy ones and orange the more difficult ones. And I made for every month one paper. And I now sitting here moving constantly sticky notes around, trying to figure out what is the best time frame for mountains, what equipment do I have, what do I still lack, and of course what are the connections between the mountains and between the countries, and somehow trying to make sense of it all. One sticky note here, one sticky note there. This is how I spent lots of evenings on this pier. I really enjoyed working there with seeing and hearing the ocean, while some pieces of paper were driving me really insane. Luckily I was in Madeira, so I could relieve my stress a bit in a more traditional way. Can you guess what I'm talking about? Do you know what is the best thing after a long day of working? It is this, a glass of ponche. I really love this Madeiran drink, and especially after a long day, where you try to plan something that it doesn't want to be planned. It is just the perfect ending of the day, and it not only tastes amazing, it also calms the nerve a little bit. So cheers. It tastes so amazing, especially if the ponche is freshly made. It is the best thing. I guess by now you can tell already that this project is really incredible, difficult to plan. I had so many times that I thought I have the perfect timeline and the perfect plan, but then I figure out a small detail that doesn't work, be it the weather, be it like equipment still missing, or be it like simply there's no connection and I need to start from the beginning again. Alone to plan the first months, I don't know how many tries I had. And I guess this little delicious, tasty liquor just keeps me sane. My plan is before leaving Madeira is to have the first 3 months completely set, and also all the important mountains that have very tight frame, like Mont Blanc and so on. Before I knew it, my time in Madeira was already coming to an end. The 2 months that I spent here passed way too fast, and it was now time to go back to the continent and prepare the last bits before the official start of the project. So enough ponche, it is packing time. Big day, I leave Madeira. Here I was living the last few weeks, packed everything, ready to go, so let's leave the paradise. As I was sitting in a taxi driving to the airport, I felt so surreal. I couldn't believe the project would start very soon, and for the first time I could feel it was getting more and more real. I was filled with a mix of emotions: nervousness, excitement, a bit of fear and uncertainty. It will be different than the bike tour. Sure, it's staying a short time in one place, leaving for the next destination the day after, but I knew the structure of my day. Wake up, eat, bike, sleep, and it was giving me some sort of comfort. This is something different and much more uncertain. It was hard to say goodbye to this beautiful place that I love so much, but I was also looking forward to what would come. Welcome to Vienna and welcome to my temporary apartment here in the city. I will stay probably around a week because now the most difficult part begins. I need to figure out what I'm gonna pack and what I take with me. So for today the challenge is to go to my dad's place, because in the cellar of my dad all my hiking stuff and all the equipment I have is waiting for me to be packed. And the idea is to pack basically for the first few mountains, which is around 7. And all of them have a quite similar climate. So that's the challenge for today. I hope I can achieve it in one day. Yeah, let's be optimistic. I hope. I know I told you I will tell you where we are heading to, but first we need to work, first we need to figure out what to pack, but then I'll tell you. Let's go. I plan to stay in Vienna for a week and pack the equipment I will take for the first few mountains. This is my home base, so to say, and I use my dad's cellar as my storage space. I will have to come here once in a while to resupply on some things or exchange equipment depending on the mountains that I will do. And it was important to also leave it organized to know where's what, in case I need an emergency shipment from my dad. Welcome to my absolute personal hell. Everything here, this mess here, is the stuff that I gonna take with me or that I plan to take with me, including stuff like this big bear spray or snow trousers and snow jacket, crampons and so on. And actually the snow clothes and the bear spray should be already a small hint for you for where we are going. Anyways, my plan is to fit everything in there somehow and hope it fits, otherwise I will need to reduce even more, and I reduced already a lot. It's quite challenging, and that was actually the part that I was fearing the most, especially after learning from the bike tour, with having too much equipment, reducing, trying again, reducing again, trying again. Also, everything that you see here, wait, let me grab my coffee. I guess coffee is the only thing that helps here. Everything that you see here, basically all the equipment, is everything fully purchased by myself. As I was planning for the project, I had actually this genius idea that I will try to make a beautiful presentation, like pitch the project and then just reach out to companies, to like tent makers, to producers from, I don't know, water filter, to I don't know, everything. I will promote them a little bit in exchange for some products that they can use. And I was actually really certain, I spent a lot of time making this presentation really beautiful, and I was certain I will get a lot of help to not invest too much on equipment, but it was very unsuccessful and I was really naive. It was a good learning. Nevertheless, I'm not mad at them. I kind of fully understand it. Anyways, so if you plan a project like this and if you want to get sponsors, definitely make a really beautiful presentation. Make a lot of work into it because the visual counts, but don't be as naive as me. I will now pack and try to figure out if it works, and I updated you as soon as something happens. I guess, hopefully, as soon as I'm finished packing. Being ready to start means thinking very well what equipment I need to take and try to keep it to a bare minimum. I want to be as flexible as possible, and that means a light luggage. I already started having flashes from last summer when I was preparing myself to start my bike tour. It was all a bit overwhelming, but the bike experience helped for sure. The struggle remained though. After choosing the things that I like to take, I tried to pack everything, and surprise, not everything was fitting. After a few rounds of packing, unpacking and reducing, I managed to put everything in one backpack, and I could declare myself victorious and ready to start. Look at this, everything fits, everything fitted in this duffel bag. It is quite huge, but at least everything fitted. I mean, this is now the equipment for basically 7 mountains in different climates. A lot of technical equipment as well, so I'm quite happy. But yeah, for future mountains I definitely need to reduce to even less. That's very important. But for now I'm just happy that I fitted it. I reduced even more. But yeah, basically I'm ready to go. The final day or the final evening. Here is my camp for tonight. I sleep at my dad's house and just need to make camp here on the ground. But yeah, I guess it will be good training for upcoming nights. Excited to leave tomorrow. And soon I will also tell you where we are heading first. What is the first mountain? I'm super excited, and I'm really looking forward for arriving in the first country tomorrow. It feels so surreal after so long of planning, then really about to start. Amazing. Good, I will enjoy the rest of the evening and then sleep early so we can leave tomorrow. And small hint, we're gonna take the train tomorrow. Good night and see you tomorrow. One more night before the start. Having the luggage ready for me to pick it up the next morning made me feel that this is real. It is finally happening, and it is not a distant moment in the future anymore. I was feeling a bit weird and I couldn't really fall asleep, but with every passing hour it was becoming more and more real. The morning came, and with it the start of the peaks of Europe. To say goodbye, my dad drove me to the train station, which meant for me a last time using a car. For the next year I will only use public transportation. And by now, can you guess already what's the first mountain and country I will visit? Let me know down in the comments. On the train station, about to leave. The train is already here, so I need to hurry. We're gonna go to Czech and make the first mountain there. It is Mount Sněžka in the Czech Republic. This is the first mountain of the peaks of Europe. With its 1,603 meters of elevation, it may be the highest mountain of the Czech Republic, but definitely not the highest on the list. The conditions though are still quite harsh, since it's only end of winter. After Sněžka, the plan is to climb the Balkan mountains in a record speed. But this will be part of a different video though. For now, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next week for the first summit of this project. If you like this video, don't forget to click the like button, and if you don't want to miss how this project is rolling, smash the subscribe button. And a big thanks to my Patreon family for helping me making the Peaks of Europe possible. Thank you so much for watching, see you next week for a new adventure, ciao ciao.